and the existence of competition. Yes, and this is what is all about. Atul Thakur. Atul sir, thank you very much for coming and welcome on to UC2 platform.
Thank you very much. Thank you and good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for uh, giving me this space of 1 hour and 6 minutes to speak. And thank you very much. And thanks for your generosity, Alifia, that if I want, I can extend that as well. But I would like to have many sessions like this. And I know that in 1 hour, 6 minutes, I'm going to talk a little what I would like to cover in details in future. Because I know that once I start training, I keep on training people. And same is going to happen here as well. That's my passion, that's my hobby, and that's what I love to do. So before we move ahead and before we really go ahead with the content that I'm going to represent today, I would like to create your participation first. And I want all of you to participate from a place where you will bring your life as well as your business into the conversations that I'm going to have with you. Please don't listen to these conversations in a way that you will listen to this first and then you will go back to your life or business and you will try to apply those conversations in your business. So please don't do that. I would like to give you 30 seconds to think about what are the current challenges that you have in your business. What are the current challenges that you are dealing with in your life as well? Because these are not two different things. We actually deal with life as a whole uh, at each and every platform. So take 30 seconds and I would like all of you to really think about what are your current challenges, where you are challenged currently, where you would like to develop yourself, where you would like to grow yourself. And challenges doesn't mean that there is something wrong. Challenges mean something that you are challenged by. You would like to grow, but you find there are certain things as a barriers which are coming in between for your development. So your 30 seconds of thinking about it starts now. Please think about what are your current challenges. All right. So I'm giving opportunity to two of you to share your challenges in brief so that others can also get a glimpse of what we are sharing. So can you please tell me what are the challenges that you have? One or two of you, any one of you can share. What are the challenges?
I feel they could raise the hand so that they can unmute. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Olivia.
I could say sometimes change of strategy too often, sometimes you go after one direction and then sooner or later another opportunity comes and you feel that's another better way or whatever, and then you chase that, and then then later you realize there's too many things we're doing and you need to stop one or something like that. So that little bit of
Okay, great. I can get that. And many of us may be facing this. Thanks, Olivia, for sharing it. Yes, Anil. Please unmute. Please unmute.
Well, I was an employee for almost 2 decades, and then I got into the entrepreneurial world very, very recently. My main challenge is monetizing my activities.
Mm.
This is a great challenge for me because I do a lot of stuff, but monetizing those activities is really a challenge for me.
That's really, you put it in a simple way, but that's what most of the people in the world are dealing with. They don't know how to convert their talent into money. They don't know what to do with that. And for a long period, I was also into the same domain. So great. Thank you very much for saying this. And you will get a glimpse of what we are dealing with, what are the challenges that we have. So whatever conversations we are going to have after this in this presentation, my invitation to all of you is bring your life into this. Bring your whole life, whatever you are dealing with, what are the challenges, whatever challenges you have, bring your challenges into this conversation so that you can really source what actionable access you can have. One more request I have. If you feel that you get some actionable access out of the conversations that we are going to make, please note down the actions that you are going to take. Don't write down the insights that you are getting. Insights will not help you anyway, because we get a lot of insights even if you look at some advertisement, and even if we go pass by some buildings also. So that doesn't make any difference to us. What the difference that will make to you is the actionable access that you will get. So please make a note of the actionable access. And why I'm asking you to make a note of it, you may tend to forget it afterwards. In the length, during the length of 1 hour, you may not remember everything that you will get as an action. So please make a note of whatever actionable access you are going to get. So the future that we are going to rewrite, or we are going to look at the best way to handle business, top practices in the business, is in fact rewriting the future. And uh, we have to rewrite this future again and again and again. And this is what we are going to look at. What are the best practices to do all these things? My talk is based on this book which I have come across. This book is called Three Laws of Performance, which I was associated with a company called Landmark Education. And Landmark never produces any books. This is the first book Landmark Education produced. Forum leaders, which are their prime leaders. So whatever I'm going to speak, the it is based on this book, and you can also read this book in future so that you will get access to so many things that you are dealing with. And this is one of my endeavor, that people should read more and more books, like we were talking about in the initial phase of this session. But we know which, we must know which is the correct book. So that's one of the things. So I'll not go into the much details of the initial part of this book, but let's look at what is rewriting the future. What do you mean by rewriting the future? What is that? So we must look at what are the laws that governs our performance. What are the things that really governs our performance? So we know that only actions produces the result. The actions that you take on the court, that will give you the results. Nothing else will give you the results. So now let's look at what are those laws of performance? What are the things that governs us? The first law of performance is how people perform correlates to how situation occurs to them. Now let's look at this. How you perform is perfect correlation of how the situation is occurring to you. Now, whatever you said right now is a thought that is came into your mind out of how the situation is occurring to you right now. And that is malleable. That is not the same thing for each and everyone. I'll give you one example. If you watch cricket, you will find that if one of the best bowlers in today's, say for example, James Anderson, he's bowling on Lords, and if he is having a lot of swing in his bowling, now you may find some batsmen playing him very fluently, and few batsmen are running away from him. Now, why same situation, two people are handling in different way? Because the way James Anderson's bowling occurs to them is different. It occurs to them as two different things. Now, like that, we also have occurrence of the things, occurrence of situation in our life. Now, consider that whatever you are saying right now is your occurrence rather than reality. It's not the real thing. If it would have been real, it would have been same for each and everyone. It's not same for each and everyone. People in same pandemic are saying it's very difficult to handle the business, and few people are saying it's the great opportunity to create something new in our life. Now, if these two things are in the same domain, in the same world, that means it depends on the occurrence. Now, we need to look at how things are occurring to us rather than how things are. Now, what Alifia said, that's our occurrence to her. Now she has to look at the way things are occurring to her are malleable. This can be dealt with. This can be dealt with in a conversation itself. So what decides your performance is how things are occurring to you. Now that will transform your impossible situation into a possible situation. Now that's what we are going to deal with in this conversation. Let's make something impossible, convert impossible into possible. The first law answer the questions. Why do people do what they do? हम लोग वो क्यों कर रहे हैं जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं? why we are doing what we are doing, why we are not doing some things that we would like to do, why we are not handling some things that we are not handling, why we are not uh, making things happen where we know that we can make things happen, yet we are not taking actions, because there is certain occurrence of those situations to us. There is certain occurring world that we have, and we look at those things in a specific way. That's why we don't feel that we can take any actions in that. Now we have to really look at how things appear to us, how things occur to us. We need to challenge ourselves over there first. Consider that when you do something, it always makes complete sense to us. On the other hand, when others do something, we often questions, why are they doing that? It doesn't make any sense. But if you got into the world of that person and looked at how the situation occurred to him, we would experience that the same action that we were questioning were completely and absolutely the perfect and correct thing for him to do, given how the situation is occurring to the person. So two people see at the same situation in different way. So what does that exactly mean? Occur means we mean something beyond perception and subjective experience. We mean the reality that arises within and from your perspective on the situation. In fact, your perspective is itself part of the way in which the world occurs to you. The how situation occurs is very, very important here. Includes your view of your past. We always have some view that is coming from our past. We always keep on saying that my experience is really saying me this. Now, where does that experience lies? That experience shapes the occurrence for us. The experience tells us how these things are for you. Now, nowadays, in this pandemic situation, you will find that so many people are challenged how to deal with this situation, how to go ahead with their business. Now, this is perfectly coming out of from the experience they have and how the situation is occurring to you. How the situation is occurring to you. Can you please share what is that in front of you right now when you see that how to grow, how to create a growth in front of you? You will get that that's your occurrence. Is it a reality? Now, really question that you must ask to yourself, and all of us must ask yourself: is it a reality that I am talking about, or is it my occurrence that I am talking about? Is it the truth that everybody else will also see, or I am talking about something that I perceive as truth? So, am I dealing with something that is real, or am I dealing with something that is unreal, and I am making it real? And if you are dealing with something that is unreal, you can't produce results in reality. You can't do anything in reality because you are dealing with something that is perfectly something that may not be real. The first thing that we need to challenge as the best practice in your life is really look at, is it real thing that you are dealing with? Is it something that is the thing that you are dealing with? Or is it your occurrence that you are dealing with? We have perception about people, we have perception about situation, we have perception about each and everything in our life. Is it real that we need to challenge? The first law rejects the common sense view of actions that people do what they do in situation because of common understanding of the fact. That's not true. There is no common understanding of the fact. People see a different world from their occurrence. The first law then says that there are two elements, performance and how situation occurs. These two are perfectly matched always with no expectations. The first law and the future is already written because, as the first law says, people's performance will always correlate with how situation occurs to them. Until the occurring shifts, we cannot have performance. We cannot have performance. You can't perform in current reality unless you alter your performance until you alter your occurrence. Now, I want you to take 30 seconds and write down how this situation is occurring to you, current situation is occurring to you with regards to performance. It's difficult, it's moderate. I can have many customers, I can't have many customers, I have these difficulties, whatever realities. I want you to be all very, very authentic with yourself. I have great opportunity. I don't have opportunity. I have ifs and buts, whatever you can write down. Now, there is nothing good or bad about occurrence. So please don't be judgmental about it. There is nothing good. If you see that there is a great opportunity, it is also your occurrence. If you see there is no opportunity, it is also your occurrence. Both are your occurrences and which are perfectly malleable. There is nothing true about it. Okay, so can I get from someone of you what did you write so that I can get whether you have written this is something that is in the line that I want you to write down. Who would like to share? So, like Anil said, he has got his own occurrence that he is perfectly coming from a background of doing job, serving for the company, and now he's suddenly entered into a new world. Now his occurring world is now he has to really think about new ways of acting and behaving to cope up with the situation. That's how this world is occurring to him right now. Yes, someone go ahead.
Avinash has raised his hand, and then we have Ashwini as well.
Yeah.
Yes, in the same line as Mr. Anil said, I can see a lot of opportunity around, but unable to convert it. What goes wrong, I'm not able to figure out. Whether the sales pitch,
All right.
whether the projection of the service goes wrong, or whether the pricing is wrong, that I'm not able to figure out.
All right. But I want you to get that this is your occurring world. This is not the real world. Get that. Whatever you are coming from is perfectly out of the way the things are occurring to you rather than in reality. All right.
Ashwini, would you like to say?
Ashwini, yes.
Uh, Sir, actually, in this pandemic, I have seen that lot of opportunities are coming to me, and as you said, my business has also grown up. I don't know what has happened. It's the reverse what Avinash has said, but it's different. I'm getting lot of business in this pandemic.
All right. So great. But see, this will have an impact. One more experience and occurring, create it will one more occurring that if something happens in the market, there has to have some incidents in the market which will create good business for you. So this occurring will certain give you again a new thought process. So you must get that even if you are doing great in this current period, don't correlate it to something has happened and that's why you are getting. It's your view about the situation which has changed your action. You have started looking at the things in a different way. That's why this occurring world is giving you no new actions, and you are putting more actionable access to your business in this current reality. All right. So shall we move ahead, or someone of you to want to say something?
Yes, if I may.
Yeah, Lord.
Okay. Recently, Donald Rumsfeld, the former Secretary of Defense in the US, passed away. He was very famous for a certain quote talking about the known unknown and the unknown unknown. And as I'm starting my business, I used to work under the umbrella of a company, and now I'm going freelance. I have a lot of challenges for new starters. So this is which one to prioritize, which market to focus on. You know, I've been with Entrepreneur Connect. This is my second session, and most of the leads and opportunity of collaboration is coming from India. It's something I never thought about it. Other than I wanted to focus on UAE where I'm based. So prioritizations, I think this is one of my challenge. Does my pricing will be okay for the Indian market? So all of that, probably this is what I'm facing. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for voicing it out. All right. So let's move ahead. I know that you will have so many thoughts to share. You will have so many things that will confront in your life as well. So let's move ahead. So notice the reality illusion is at work. As long as the situation occurred this way, यहाँ एक example उन्होंने quote किया गया. Let's look at the life. The reality of illusion is working in your life as well. So no amount of training, skill acquisitions, or motivational postures will change the situation, how situation occurs to you. In fact, you will try to find out more solutions. If you are dealing with something in your life and you see that people often go to finding out some solutions, and you will try to get yourself motivated to do that. And I always keep on saying that motivation is something that it never works in life. It never works. In fact, you will produce results where it is very difficult to handle the life. You will always be developed there. Motivation never works. You don't see, mother never gives birth to a child because she is motivated to. That's a difficult process on this earth. It is always said that it is the most difficult situation in anybody's life. But we come into this world just because somebody is ready to experience that pain and go through that pain. So it's never a motivational process, though she is inspired to do that. So it's something like that. Handling a business and creating a business is never a motivational process. You have to go through so many things. Why we are sitting here, why we are discussing so many things, why we are spending so many things, doing so many discussions. It's not at all motivational for many of us, and motivation will not bring you here. Your commitment will bring you here. So if you go and try to find motivation, motivational speeches, read motivational quotes, it's not going to handle anything in your life. It's not going to carry your day. It's not going to make difference, which we often try to do. Only one thing that is going to help you is alter the way things occur to you. Alter the way situation is occurring to you. Alter the way you are looking at people around you. Alter the way clients are looking at you, the way clients are occurring to you. Everything is occurring. Everything is occurring. And unless you alter that, you are not going to enter into the world of performance. You are not going to enter into the world that you want to live in. So, what principle works here is whatever we resist, it persists. If you can see any way that you are resisting your performance challenge, you will see that you may be strengthening its hold on you, others. If we resist something in our life, it creates a grip on us. It creates a grip on us. It grips us. I come across so many people who are saying that this pandemic is having a terrible time in my life, and they keep on saying that, and it increases grip on them. They can't find anything new in their life. They go to some motivational speeches, they go find some motivational thoughts, and again, when they go and hit the road, they again go back to their own thinking that it's very difficult. Like Zig Ziglar always says that motivation is something like having Red Bull. It will give you motivation till the time that caffeine is running in your blood. That once that caffeine subsides, motivation goes. So it can't help you to have energy permanently. So this is what we need to really get, that we need to alter the way things are occurring to us, how the situation is occurring to us. You must strengthen that thought. There are specific actions you can take to tap into the power of first law of performance. Notice that connection between performance and this how situation occur for people. Only focus on that only. See the reality illusion at work in you and people around you. Now, if you want to make difference with somebody else's action, you have to alter the way the things are occurring to that person. You can't motivate that person to do certain actions. Now, if you find that you are surrounded by people who are ineffective, they are just ineffective because you are not making a conversation that will alter the way the world is occurring for them. You need to have a conversation which will alter the occurring world for other people. What Avinash is doing by speed reading is he's shifting the occurrence of people about reading. And that's why same people can now think about having double the speed. What Alifia said, that I can read at 2.5 x times, because she has shifted her occurrence about the way she reads or way she does her actions about whatever she is doing. If you can't do that, you can't have a new performance in life. And wherever you have produced results in your life, there was a shift in your occurrence. Nowhere else. There was a shift in your occurrence. Something happened with you, some conversation happened with you, and there was a shift in your occurrence. And you performed. But we often don't get that, while we need to put in performance in the areas of life. So that is the first thing which is working in our life. Become aware of how your own performance correlate with how situation occurs to you. Now notice that attempt to change a situation often backfires. You can't change the situation. Strengthening rather than altering how situation occurs. We need to really work on our own self. Consider that if you could do something about how situation occur to you and everyone around you, what impacts this would make on everybody's performance. Now, this thing works where you are working on performance of an organization. If you are looking at altering the performance of organization or group of people, what we need to do is we really need to look at how we can alter the occurrence of each and every individual that is working with us, each and everyone, rather than working on motivating them, rather than working on how to bring effectiveness in them, rather than working on what new strategies we can bring forth. See, when you try to apply 2 minute strategies, you need one more strategy to have those strategies in place. So really look at how we can really bring forth a conversation which will alter the occurrence. This group itself is working on occurrence. Alifia started some activity. She created a platform where people will come together and alter their occurrence. Yes, I can go global. I can have my connect globally. I can interact with people and I can connect my business. I can get business, or I can get more and more references. When this occurrence is shifting, people are coming here. Those who do not have access, how this is going to uh, increase their business, it's not occurring to them, they will not come here. So if you want thousands and thousands of people, I'll just connect this to our something common amongst all of us. If you want many people on this platform, we need to have a conversation that will alter the occurrence of people about this platform. They will come in numbers, and that's what we train our people into. When they deal with, I don't know how to convert my potential into business. So whoever is dealing with this, you have an occurring world that I don't know how to do that, and from I don't know how to do that, you really need to look at what is my way so that I can create an occurrence for each one of around me, so that they can do some business with me, they can have some business transactions with me. So let's look at the second law of performance. How a situation occurs arises in a language. Now we are in a language world. We live in the world that is created by language. Now there is nothing, nothing comes into existence unless we keep it, unless we put it in language. The key to performance is hiding in a particular facet of languages. Now look at the way we have, the way we language it, the way we use the words about things, how you describe things. Whatever is happening around us is the language world. It's world constituted by words. It's constituted by some description about things. The moment the moment Anil said, yeah, I was doing a job for so many years, and now I have certainly entered into a business world, and I don't know how to monetize my potential. This came into existence the way the Vansi language. Now we must understand the kind of language that we are using. We must understand that the way we are languaging whatever we are saying. whatever is happening around us. There is certain language that we have, and that language creates a lot of occurrence for us. Language is used here in the broadest sense. It includes not only spoken and written communication, but it also a body language also, facial expressions, tone of voice, pictures and drawings, music, how people dress, and like Kenisha is doing a lot of difference with people around here, and any other actions that have symbolic intent. Untying the knots of language begins with seeing that whatever you say, whenever you say something, other communication is carried along with it. We call this phenomena the unsaid but communicated. Unsaid but communicated includes assumptions, expectations, disappointments, resentment, regrets, interpretations, significance, and issue that occur as dangerous. Now there is a lot of unsaid. There is a lot of unsaid. There are two types of things. There are a lot of things which is said, and there are a lot of unsaid things. Both of things create our occurring world. Both these things. There's a lot of unsaid. So there is a lot of unsaid means what? Like we always say in our presentation in the beginning that we have 150 people who are associated with us, and 30 to 40 people at an average come to this every Saturday. Now those who are not coming, there is something unsaid. There is something unsaid. There is something unsaid in their occurrence. There is something that assumption, there is some assumption about them in the occurrence. Unless we deal with that, we can't have 150 people over this platform each and every Saturday. Unless we do something about shifting that occurrence. Everybody will not have words to communicate to us. Everybody will not say, if you have customers and they're not doing business with you and they're not even saying something to you, there is something unsaid that we need to understand. There is something, there is some assumption going on we need to understand. We don't go by that. We don't look at that from the performance angle. We don't look at that from, there is some unsaid language of we need to understand that also so that we can alter their occurrence. Now, where we can be effective over here, that really giving a thought to this process that how we can transform, how we can shift the occurrence of all those 120, 30 people so that every Saturday is an opportunity for them to be here. And this will create this will fulfill the dream that we all are seeing. And each one of us seeing that world and challenging the occurrence. So we must understand that language is not something that is only spoken to us. That is not only what we hear. That is, there are so many things beyond that. Communication is much more beyond that, and we need to understand that first. The key to performance is altering what was unsaid and communicated without awareness. Unsaid and communicated, but without awareness, becomes linguistic clutter. The key to performance isn't pushing new conversations about strategy or recognition into already cramped space, rather than it's clearing out the clutter. Now, this is how we try to alter the performance. What we do is we try to create more conversations. We try to create more communication rather than clearing the clutter, which is unsaid, which gives the space for performance, which creates a space for performance. That's where the occurrence shifts. That's where we can really impact the occurring world of each and every person. All right, so now I want you to take 30 seconds and really look at what is that unsaid you are not really looking at in your life with customers, people in your life, and really have a communication to clear that unsaid, to alter that unsaid. What clutter you need to really get rid of. Who would like to share? What did you see? And in relationships also, you'll find the same thing. If something is not being communicated to you, something is unsaid, if relationship is not suddenly working, you will find that there is a lot of unsaid we are not addressing to. And we need to really alter that unsaid. Yes, who would like to share?
According to me, it's the negative thoughts that come across our mind every time, that constantly creates a belief which is, either positive or negative, and that belief ultimately becomes an action of
So
what we do.
could you please specify it with whom it is happening?
It has happened to me.
Yeah, I know that when you are talking about it, you have some reference to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would like to share the reference. When
Yeah.
you spoke about occurrence a lot, I could relate it in the sense that, it's a sort of belief that we tend to, have. So it's just 1 year back when I launched Kenisha Styles, and it was the pandemic phase that was going on, and people came and told me that, oh my God, this is nothing into essentials. What you are doing is somewhat, on the luxury side. So how would you cope with it in this situation, and what would you do? And people don't need this anymore, because they are not working from offices, they are working from home, and all that sort of examples came into uh, the thing, and I started believing that.
Mm.
And once I started believing that, it was just unconsciously, I did not realize it initially, but it was just 3-4 months after the launch, we were just continuously doing work, me and my team, working on the social media, working on the networking and all that stuff, but there was absolutely zero result. And then it just happened to me that I met somebody, and I realized that this is something that I am creating for my own self. It's not happening because it is bound to happen, but it's something that I am creating out of my own belief system. So the belief system, when it was like before the launch and after the launch, was completely two different things. So that's the reason, it kind of showed into my actions, and it kind of showed into the results also.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing this. And this is what happens with many of us. We believe in somebody else's opinion becomes our own beliefs. So that's how things get. We shift our offering and we believe in those offerings, and we stop working on it. And there is a lot of the point that we are making over here is there is a lot of unsaid to us. There is a lot of unsaid, and we must understand. We must get that unsaid as well. We must clear those clutter so we can increase the performance of our organization. And don't go by only things which are coming to you within the language itself. The language includes unsaid as well, and most of the part lies there. Most of the business lies there. What you are getting from what's being unsaid, what's not really coming on your hitting your ear, or what you can see. All right, so let's move ahead. Our internal voice is always asking and answering questions such as, is it true? Is it false? Is it right? Is this right? Is this wrong? Is this good? Is this bad? If you take a moment, see, we have got some internal voice running on always. हम लोगों का एक internal voice है. ये यहाँ पे चलते रहता है. ये आपको बैठने नहीं देगा. ये this will keep on creating certain conversation with your own self. Now, what will happen to you? You will always have some thought going on in your head, and you can't control it. You can't control it. There is always some thought going on in your head, and you will keep on talking to yourself as well as someone who is sitting in front of you or the situation to you. Now get that the situation, what is happening inside of you, your internal voice is different than what is happening around. It is always different than what is happening around. Internal voices, that is something which is going on internally to you, even if you are, even if somebody is not talking to you, always you will deal with something that is going on internally to you. Is this situation great? Can I do business here? Shall I speak here? Shall I introduce myself here? Or I should wait for someone else? This will go on in your head. Is this a right client I have? Is this the right deal I'm making? And this internal voice will always make you think that whatever you are thinking is real. Whatever you say is real. No, it's not. It's your internal voice. It may not be true. It's something that always goes on. And this internal voice is such a beautiful thing that will die with you. It will, you cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. Even if I want you to, if I ask you to stop it, you will think about what internal voice. That's the internal voice. I don't have internal voice. That's the internal voice I'm talking about. That's the internal voice I'm talking about. You will always have. The moment you see someone in front of you, you will have some internal voice. There's something going on internally, which is not real. Which is not real. Which is always a perception that you hold in your head and which always goes on. And the good news is that it will never stop. It will never stop. It will stop the day you will stop breathing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. So that internal voice is also having certain impact on each one of us in the language. In particular, think about your performance challenge and notice what your internal voice has to say. For most people, it's something like, maybe I'm not trying hard, maybe I'm not trying hard enough, or I'm just plain unlucky. Will this conversation help? Probably not. So this internal voice will go on in your head. Most of the time, your inner voice repeats old thoughts. It will always keep on repeating something. Only rarely does it say something new. And yet it takes up a lot of our awareness. See, internal voice has one impact on your life, and that is it will take you away from the reality. It will take you away from the current situation. It will take you into your thought process rather than dealing with what's in front of you, rather than dealing with what's happening to you in front of you. It will not allow you to remain in present. It will always make you to work in where you should not be. See, right now, if you're sitting here and if you're thinking about something else, it will not make you effective where you are right now. And you can't be there where you are not. I know that. How to overcome that is understanding that I have this internal voice and I can't do anything about it. Yeah. Getting that first. This is my internal voice. And this is it. This is my internal voice, and this is what is going on in my head rather than in reality. That's it. Nothing else. You can't do anything about that. You can't do anything about it. So get that whatever you are thinking right now is your internal voice, and there is nothing you can do about it. And only one thing you can do is you can get that this is your internal voice. Notice that your internal voice probably won't produce any novel solution to any of the performance challenges. Get that. Our thought process, our great ideas, hunches, all those things will not produce any result in reality. In reality, it won't produce any result. You may have something going on in your head. You may have some thoughts going on in your head, but where life is not happening there. Life is happening where it's happening. And unless you do something where life is happening, you can't produce result. Where life is happening is in front of you, where the world is. And unless you do something over there, you can't produce results. That's where we need to understand our chances of performance will increase. Now, this is something that is called rackets. In this book, this word rackets is used, and this is patented word by Landmark Education. So what is racket? Racket is something that a complaint that has persisted for some time. We have certain complaints, we persist. Now that also comes in between our performance. A complaint that has persisted. The second, there is a pattern of behavior that goes along with complaints. So look at, there are certain complaints we have. How you don't have? Do you have complaints? You have complaints about situation, people around you, about your customers, about business, about the communities you are dealing with, you people in your life. You have complaints, and there is certain behavioral patterns also you have in having those complaints also. Now the beautiful thing is that we have complaints because we want to avoid some things in our life. Now this may sound a little funny or little challenging to you. Why we keep on complaining about few things in our life? We want to avoid few things in our life. Complaints give us so many things. Complaints gives us so many things. That's why we keep on complaining. Consider that complaint has a big role in your life. Complaints give you something. Now, what do you think complaints are giving you? Let's understand this. You get something, that's why you keep on complaining. What is that you get? What is that you get by complaining? Can you please tell me? Yes.
So it could be the assurance, when you're complaining, it could be the assurance to you that you're not the one to be blamed for whatever's happening. It could be
That's
one of the
really great.
reasons.
That's
Yeah,
really great.
yeah.
So you can avoid that you can be blamed, you are doing something wrong, or you can make others wrong. In fact, you can blame others by having complaints.
Precisely. So when you're complaining, it's about the situation, it's about the people, or, so it's like, in a way, assuring to yourself that, okay, something is happening because of so and so. You're not the force behind what's happening.
Absolutely. So no one can blame you, no one can catch hold of you, no one can make you responsible for something. You can say that I'm not responsible. There is something else is responsible, and I can keep on having this complaint, right? Okay, what else?
That's precisely what goes on with complaints, is how I understand it.
That's great. That's great. What else you get by complaining? Someone else? What else you get? Look at the challenges you are facing. What else you are getting by having complaints in those areas of life?
Can I say something? This is
Yes,
Anubha.
please. Yeah.
What I understand is that when you complain, there are two things which is going in your mind. Something which is not achievable, or you have tried achieving it but was not successful. So that is one reason you try to complain. "वो अच्छा नहीं है, this is good for nothing," because I could not achieve it for whatever reason I could be. So
You mean to say, yeah, you mean to say, Anuba, you can justify yourself.
Correct. You justify yourself. Okay, I will not say that I am not capable of achieving that. What I'll say, that is not achievable, or that is there is a saying in Hindi कि अंगूर खट्टे थे. So that is what we try to do.
Absolutely, and I have seen with this many of the organizations, they keep on complaining about customers, employees, they keep on complaining so many things, and they justify their non-performance. They keep on justifying they're not producing enough money, and
Correct.
they keep on justifying that. Great, Anuva. Someone else? Why you complain? What do you get out of complaining? Can you please tell me? So you all complain, I know that. That's what we love to do. So why you do that?
Our reaction.
The reaction?
Okay. Reaction of the situation. We are complaining.
Reaction is defined as reaction is repetition of some past. Reaction. That is reaction. Something happened to you in the past and you repeat that action is reaction. Right? So you correlate to that something that happened with you and you perfectly create that action again. All right, I got that message. Who? Someone else. What do you get out of complaining? क्या मिलता है आपको? What do you get? Really think about that. Wherever you have,
maybe we get that sense of satisfaction that it's not us, who is doing the wrong. It's somebody else about whom you complain.
And that's good way to dominate others.
Yeah.
That you can't point out something at me. In fact, I'm justifying my position. You can't dominate me, and you can avoid domination by doing this. Somebody catch holding you, you can perfectly do that. Great.
Correct.
Okay, what else? See, why we keep on complaining? Because we are getting all those things. These are something that we are getting. But what is the cost of doing this? We must understand. What is the cost? The cost of having complaints is performance. Cost of having complaints is there is no platform where we can really be casual for not having performance. There is no sense of urgency where we are having some complaints. We can't be, nobody can catch us. Nobody can really hold to us to account for whatever we are not doing. Rather, we have got justifications, we have got dominations, we have got I am right, you are wrong. You have got so many things. This is what we are creating, but the cost is performance. Either you can have complaints or performance. So if you want performance in that area of life where you are not performing and where you are holding complaints, you'll have to really look at, do I need to hold on to the thoughts that I have, or I want performance? You can choose either. You can choose either. You can choose either. You can't have both. That's the beauty of this. You can't have both. You can only have one thing. I have seen people, they hold on to one thing, that is complaint, and they keep on complaining about it. Now there's nothing wrong. That's being human, but you can't expect to have performance over there. And the moment the number of days, the longer you hold on to your complaints, the more it becomes real to you. More it becomes. You look at people around you in your own life also. In relationships, we have seen this. In relationships, it starts with a complaint and then that complaint becomes real. But if you label that person, that now I know that this person is like this only. And it was started with a small complaint. Just get that. If you want to have performance over there, you need to really look at, is it real or it is my occurrence? So that I can alter my performance over here. All right, so I'll give you opportunity. Write down the complaints that you have about people around you and really look at what you are getting out of it. And be ready to that we call that juicy banana. We keep on holding that juicy banana and we keep on saying that I don't want to lose this. I will better have complaints in my life. Now, what is the juicy banana? There's a beautiful story around it. So how monkeys are trapped, monkeys are trapped. There is a trap which is specifically designed for holding to catching monkeys. It has got one small openings and there is banana kept through the other side. Monkey's hand can enter that trap through the small opening. And if that monkey holds that banana, it tries to take his hand out of that trap. Now that trap is so beautifully designed that when you hold the banana, you can take your hand out of that, and that monkey is trapped into that. Now the one who is catching the monkey, he is waiting for that, waiting patiently. He comes to that trap very coolly, patiently. He knows that the monkey will never leave the banana. He will keep on holding that banana. So we are also trapped in the same situation. We know that if we give up that banana, we can come out of the trap. But we keep on holding that, we get trapped. We face the consequences, but we are not never ready to leave the complaints that we have. So look at the complaints that you have about people around you, people may be working with you, complaints about the customers that you have, people about communities that you have, complaints about communities that you have. And what are you getting out of it? What is that juicy banana you are getting out of it? And you are not ready to give up. You're still holding on to it. You may be losing business. You may be losing the brand that you have. You may be losing the future that you have, but still holding on to that. So I think 1 minute will be insufficient, but that's what we can allocate, right?
I have a question here.
Yes, Shivakta.
So when you say holding on to your juicy bananas, now if you have a situation, all right, it could be with regards to anything. It could be with regards to the people that you're working with, your relationships, anything for that matter. So if there is a situation going on and if you want to, or if you're talking about it just to come to a solution, to understand as to what's happening there and how can you kind of change that. So talking about it in that context, would it still mean that you're holding on to the banana?
See, the difference, that only difference you can make it where you are. Now you really have to challenge the way you are looking at the situation and thinking about it. Now, what I can get from what you are sharing is there is certain difference that you have with someone or some group of people that you are working with, right?
No,
So
the
what
thing
is that?
could be anything. I'm just giving. So it could be with the people, it could be in your relation, it could be with work or anything for that matter. So
Yeah. So my invitation to all of you is, particular to you, is could you please specify the example, because generalized I can't coach you or deal with that. Can you please see, it has come to your head means that has got some reference again.
okay. Okay, let me give you the first example that's coming to my mind. So I have an intern working with me. All right. And I've given her certain tasks and she's not been doing it well. I mean,
Right.
she's very casual, she's very like casual about it, and she's not serious or committed to her work. So if I tell her that, am I complaining? Or if I bring up that thing, I mean, am I still complaining? Because this is something that I'm seeing, and if I'm referring back to it or talking to her or, bringing it to my notice or whatever, am I then complaining about that? Because this is something that I'm seeing.
I got that. Now, if you say she is casual about her work, is it a complaint or is it a reality?
I see it as a reality because this is what I see what she's doing, right? She's
Got
not.
that. So you are saying that you see that as a reality, right?
Yes.
Now, it, is she coming to you because she wants to express her casualness?
Definitely not. She's come to learn something. She's come to work.
Right.
Yeah.
You consider that you are not creating a conversation that will alter her world so that she can express herself fully what she wants to express. Rather than you are keeping a conversation in your head which is justifying your position that she is not someone who is not performing because she is casual.
No, I've had that conversation with her. I've already had that conversation with her. And yet I don't see a change in her actions.
I got that. That means you are not created a conversation that will alter her actions. You have created a conversation that will justify your position rather than altering her actions.
Okay, so how is one supposed to do that? So if I tell her that, all right, this is what I'm observing, and why don't you, start, you've already have a task list, why don't you just stay committed and do that?
So that's perfectly coming from what you see as the world. That's not perfectly coming from how the world is occurring to her. Now you can't make difference unless you alter the world, the way the world occurring to her. You are coming from, I see you are not performing. You are not coming from, you want to perform and you are not performing. See, that's where the occurring can shift. See, most of us are mistaken over here only. We feel that you are not performing is my perception. I can't make difference to that. See, you'll have to create a conversation in a way that she will come to you and she will tell you that this is how it is occurring to me. This is what the situation, and I face these many challenges. And unless you make a conversation to alter those challenges, there is no shift in the occurrence. Am I making some sense? Now you can complain for her. You can hold this complaint for 1,000 years that she is not good, she is casual, whatever. That will not make her good potential work in your organization.
Mr. Atul.
Yeah, Lauren. Just a minute, Lauren. Does that satisfy your query, Shagufta?
Yes, in a way. So what I'm getting from this is that you need to ask her as to what are her challenges that are coming in her way of her performing.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. See.
And just to add here, I also asked her this question. So I did ask her as to what is it that, it's coming in your way. Please share.
Yeah, so she may come up with something that you never thought of. Never thought.
The whole point is, in spite of all of this, we still didn't come to any shift anywhere.
Yeah. So it will not happen. I know that. I've seen organizations shifting their performance just because they altered the way workplace and the work occurs to their employees.
Yeah. So I've had this also. I asked her as to please share what is coming in your way. Maybe we can work around that. But again, the person has to take the responsibility for herself on that front, right?
No, you can't make anyone else responsible.
Okay.
No, you can't. There is no way on this earth you can install responsibility in others. No way on this earth. None of the stalwarts could do this. They can make others. Only conversation can make a difference. If that person finds and decides to be responsible, only then it can be that can be.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Mr. Atul over here.
So you will have to keep on creating a conversation if that person is important to you, unless and until that person takes the responsibility. You have to develop those patience in.
Right, I got it.
Otherwise, see, since she's your employee, either you can say that this is the deadline. So if things are not moving, we'll have to break our agreement of working together. But what will do with people in your life? Right? My wife wants my wife wants me to be very neat, clean, keeping things where she wants to, and I never been since last 25 years. She keeps on telling me every day. She has choice to leave me or to keep on telling me that you are not doing this in a correct way. Now she says that I can see a little improvement in you. Little improvement. A mother sees her child not doing things she wants to do, but she keeps on telling, keeps on altering the world. And once we say that I owe these things to my parents or my mother, to my father, because he kept on telling me this and all shifted my offering one day. So if the person is important to you, person is important for your organization, so you have to put and create enough conversations with that person that will alter the world.
Right. So what I get, it's like a constant repetition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at the way the world of advertisement works. They will create so many advertisements. They will keep on hammering you so many times that it will alter your world. And the moment your world alters, you go to market and buy those products. Now you will not go and buy each and everything that you see, but something alters in your world. Maybe after you seeing 1,000 times, and then you go. And that's how the world works. Yes, Lauren, please. Sorry to keep you waiting. Yeah.
It's all right. You almost answered to my questions. I had a similar situation like Shakuta explained. Basically, I have is one of my most important clients.
Yeah.
We always agree on a schedule to discuss or meeting and so on. And without, in a second, either he didn't show up, he didn't inform me, and cancel and so on. I keep complaining about it. I keep discussing about it. Stick to the plan. And at the end of the day is I need to decide what I want to do. Right now, as I'm starting my business, I can really afford to say, okay, you're really pissing me off and bye-bye. So it keep going on, going on, going on, going on. Like 2 days ago, we were supposed to have a meeting at 9 p.m. because this is the one who say we're going to talk at 9 p.m. Never show up, and he called me in the morning. Consequences, my entire day was completely became chaotic, and I even miss. I had a one-to-one schedule with the area, and I didn't even realize that my schedule was a mess. How to deal with these people? Even going, explaining to them, please respect my time as I respect your time. When you say we're going to meet, if we don't meet, inform me that we are not going to meet. But this guy is so everything is the sales, everything is collecting the money, and when he is in kind of urgency, because it doesn't make the difference between what is important and what is urgent. And I'm the one facing the consequences. So how to deal with that?
Yeah, I got that. See, but if that person is important to you, you must always think that you are already chosen some consequences out of that.
Yes, I
You say,
realize.
yeah, when you have said this guy is important and I'm ready to spend my time for this person, you are already chosen that you are creating chaos in your life. You already know the kind of person he is. Now we can't complain that. When you choose X, you always choose so many things along with that X. When you are chosen to have communication with that client, and if you say that client is important to me, to you have already chosen the way he behaves with you.
Hmm. But how to bring him to reason? Because I
The only way
believe.
to deal with is keep on having a conversation with him. Keep on having, if that person is important to you,
Mm-hmm.
and don't entertain the complaints that you have unless you see people will perform inside of the space that you provide to them. Now the space that you have for your client is he is not respecting your time. He is someone who is money oriented. He doesn't bother and take care of, he is not bothered about the kind of efforts you are taking. You have these complaints. Now inside of the space of this complaint, there is no space for performance. This is the internal voice always keep on running in your head about that client. You will not, now there may be some occurring world for him as well. Unless you get that, there is no chances of performance there. You can't perform there. Really look at having a communication, effective communication with him so that you can get his world as well. Right?
Adolji, I don't want
Yeah.
to hold you on to this particular conversation for a long time, but just one more question on the same thing. I see you
Yeah.
applying two different rules here, if the person is valuable to you or otherwise.
Yeah,
So how do
absolutely. Like
you
you said,
differentiate?
absolutely. See, say for example, like Shagufta said or Laurent is saying, that client is important, that person is important to you. And you have already taken a decision to carry with that person, then you have to make many conversations with that person to shift his occurrence. Shift his occurrence. Now, if that employee is particularly important for Sharukta, she can't do with that employee. She can't do without that employee. She has to make enough conversations with her. Now, see, there are some people in our life we can remove them, but not everyone we can remove. And we don't go by that. How I can make myself effective so that this person will do whatever I want him to do. And that's where key to performance lies. That's where our chances of performance increase. Right. So it's as per what's the time exactly?
It's 9:06.
Yeah.
So that's what the time was allocated to me. But I would like to continue for 5 more minutes so that we can conclude this chapter. And we have just we have just covered the 10% of what I wanted to cover, because I know that there are a lot of consultations and my training happens in the conversational domain. Because you see your life the moment you start having conversations with me. If I have, I can send you the PPTs, I can say give you the books, but the conversations really makes the difference. The conversation that we do, the like unless Shagupta talks to me about what she's dealing with her employee, we can't have a conversation that will make difference. So before we conclude, I would like you to share with me what did you get from this brief training so that I can have a better training opportunity for you. So what I did with you, I altered uh, occurrence that you have about me, the way I train people. Now this will give me opportunity to perform in your life. That's how you need to really look at what conversations you can create to alter the way you occur to people, the way how you can impact the occurrence, how you can really shift the way things occur to you. So I want few of you to share now. What did you get from the brief conversation we had? Yes, Gaurav.
Hi. I have known of this book and I've been part of Landmark education, so to say, for 27 years. So what I saw today, you kind of simplified it and you represented what the Vanto Group probably offers for hundreds of thousands of dollars to corporates. So it's been an enriching kind of start. I intend to kind of engage with you further and take this journey forward. So I'm sure it has enticed or like triggered certain things for the rest of our attendees here. And these are all conversations that we need to engage in, go deeper, and make things better. Thank you so much, Atul.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you. Yes.
The excellent session is excellent, but we can have each and every law now separately instead of yeah at a time. That's all. We have to focus on that. Focus.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, that's what I have said. I have just made a 10% conversation to all of you, and I would like to really complete this with all of you because this is very, very important. And this book itself is very important. And like Gaurav said, my USP is always to make things simple. We don't need to have a very complicated conversations. We can have very simple conversations that will make our life very easy. Thank you very much. Yes.
If I can say something, Mr. Atul, I think the session helped us to put words on our frustration and even unearth unknown frustration. We don't know why we act like that. In reality, if we follow the path of what you are saying, it helps us to improve our relationship, my relationship with whoever is causing us trouble. So yes, on other things, I can give you feedback privately. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lauren. Yeah.
What I took
I
away.
would like to add something. Alicia, can I add something?
Yeah, please go ahead.
To continue my story, as I was saying before, that this was the challenge that I was facing, and I did not know that what to do, but somehow I realized that it is my belief system itself. So I tried to reaching out to people who can help me with altering this mindset. So I also happened to see somebody asking in the chat that how do we clear this clutter. So what I am practicing currently is I would like to share is through visualization. So I found this Facebook group in which there was a mentorship group added, and there were a lot of mentors there. I started reaching out to people who can help me altering this mindset and bring results to my business ultimately. So that is where, I found this person who was actually, who tried to engage with me one on one, and help me, realize that what is wrong. So it's the belief system, it's what the thought is. And he just asked me to create what sort of customer that I was looking for. And believe it or not, once I started visualizing that, once I created it and started visualizing every day, that exact person was my first client. So it it can happen. If you alter your belief system, if you clear the clutter, and if you are able to visualize what you want instead of what you don't want or what you are into, it will definitely make a difference. Thank you so much, Atulji. It was a great pleasure hearing you. A lot of validation I got of what I'm doing currently. And also, I noted a point about complaints. So, this is something that I would go forward and reflect upon and take this from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, Alifia, you was about to say something.
I think you're talking about Kinesha. I think, like they say, when the student is ready, the master appears. So it had to happen, right? So you had to find whatever, call it Facebook, call it Atul, call it anybody. It comes. What I really took away was the entire challenge of managing people and getting things done from people and things like that. And I was recently reading a Harvard Business Review article, and what came across is the old generation. The values of hard work was you work hard and you get paid. Then somewhere where our generation is, some of us and most of us, I would say, is balance between work-life balance, right? Where you want to work hard, but you want to enjoy, you want to take holidays, you want to take vacations. That's where we are. Maybe our kids literally have born with an iPad the day that they are born, like today's kids. And, Shagufta was talking about interns and stuff, right? I mean, everything about the next generation, the generation Z or even after, is going to be about gamifying. So if you want to get anything work done from any of the next generation people, you got to make games out of everything. They're never going to work because their value systems are completely different. So if you want to, even I have interns and I have the same challenge, but if you can't gamify anything, no performance is going to really come. So there's a big shift in how we think and operate. So, and like Atulji really said, it's not about inside. It's sometimes to change others, you really can't do anything, but it's somewhere to change your own perspective and see what you can do. So very, very valuable, very, very fruitful session. And I would want to take this opportunity to officially close here because we're at 9:15. But I would also want to invite every one of you to stay on longer. The room will be open. And if anybody needs to go in trust of the time, please, officially the meeting is closed. But please do stay on, and Atulji is here with us for another, whatever, half an hour or whatever. So please do stay on. If anybody wants to discuss, if you want to cover a new topic, Mr. Mr. Karunakaran didn't speak earlier, but I saw his message on the group, Modi Care and all. Great. Excellent. So let's keep it open. Whoever wants to continue sharing, we really value your presence, and we have a fantastic established.
I would also like to say is that, this half an hour means if we are able to, if we all agree on this portal, that if we are able to give Atul 3 to 4 hours time, maybe we will be able to create something wonderful that each one can take away. So if the entire group is having this constraint, if this group is having that agreement that we are all ready to learn and we have that much time to invest, then we will be able to create a much better session for this community. And he is ready to contribute to each one of us. That's my promise to you all.
Alifia, I would like to suggest this. You see, our format is 7:30 to 9. However, as a special offering to our attendees and members, we can construct a different session, yes, which is specifically for Atul Thakur to share his training. Yes. So then it's an exclusive. It's, yes, a one time, and people register, come for it. We could charge or we could make it free, whatever.
That depends on the speaker completely, because we are a non-profit, we're a non-commercial.
No, we are ideating, we are thinking about it. I also feel that anything free is Okay, okay.
Anyway, so we will conclude this here, and we will keep the platform open for discussions in terms of what the speaker had today. And please, if anyone has any questions, continue it. And
Right.
as we streamline more, we will share with the members. Atul, back to
Yeah.
you.
So my invitation to all of you is that if you have any questions, and if it is not workable for all of us to stay for longer period right now also, because it was not pre-scheduled, you can have one-on-one with me as well, so that we can have more discussions about this. And I really want each one of you to get contributed by, so that we all can be in the performing in the world of performance. And this book will take minimum 2 sessions of 4 hours to really look at each and everything in our life. And I'm ready to do that. Why I'm saying I'm ready to do that? Unless we really understand the world of performance, and unless we really get that, it's not possible to really act upon it. And let's do that. I'll be in communication with all of you, and let's work on that.
Yeah, if we can work out the dates for next means 2 4-hour sessions, and he will do it free of cost for us all. But if you are all ready to invest that kind of time, I feel Atul Thakur, I could request him and bring him to this platform of eConnect and allow him to create this 4 hours free session for everyone, and each one can get enough of what they want.
Yeah, and then I have one more request that it's of course to the management that please do not mix this with the regular sessions, because these are two different mindsets.
Yeah,
That will take away the opportunity of people who would like to introduce and generate business for them.
Yes.
So that is injustice to what they come up with. And if we can have a separate time allocated for this, everybody will be with clear mindset that they are to be in this conversation for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Can I suggest that, as you mentioned, it's a tool that we have in the week, one day for like the Saturday for to help people to introduce themselves and to create business opportunity among us. But the training can be scheduled in another day in the week uh, or evening. I don't know, because we have in different time zones. But I think if people are really interested and they can see, they can make profit out of this training, we can, let's say on a Wednesday, 2 hours in the morning or in the evening and so on. So that will be, I think, better. We can try.
Absolutely, and I leave that to the management. I leave that to Alifia. Yeah.
We could look at a Friday and a Saturday, say 10 to 1 Dubai time, or even a 2 to 5, 2 to 6 sort of a time. So we could do, if you need back-to-back Atul, then that could be an option, or we could do 2 Saturdays. But if you want a 1 week gap in the middle, whatever works.
We'll do a week gap, and we'll do it back on, say back to back 2 days, whatever days you decide, except for Sundays and Saturdays.
Yeah. Sundays and Saturdays now? Okay.
Yeah, I'm already occupied for next almost 10 weeks.
He's leading for next 13 weeks continuously.
So we can look at Thursdays and Fridays, if that works.
Yeah.
So we'll work out a schedule. We'll post it on the group. I think it's best to have the same people attend both days, so that we will have a restricted registration only. It will not be however you think. So that the same people come back the next day. Otherwise,
no, one more thing, Alifia, I have a request for all of you in the committee. That when we say we have got 150 people, we must find a methods to get them in on the platform regularly. Now, what I see is this could be a good opportunity to have everybody on the platform. They coming here and they will really enrich. The purpose of this platform is very noble and noble, that people should get more opportunities to have business amongst each other. Now, unless we have many people coming together, this purpose will not go to the level that we all want. So my invitation to all of you, if we can design it in a way that we can have all those maximum people from 150 people, that will be a good opportunity for them also to get the new occurring of this platform, and they will come regularly to this platform. So this is my input. This is my thought. You may accept it, you may not accept it. Thank you.
Great idea.
One more thing I wanted to add to what he says is that if you see our WhatsApp group of eConnect and Global Reference, That is the one group that we are holding on now, and our Facebook page and other pages that we have. So if we can bring